Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good meaning. Good morning. That sounds like somebody from Hello, Hello. It's almost 11 o'clock. So I've just started the broadcast just to see if we can hear the celebrations that are going to start today for St. Denis's celebratory next few days. We should start to hear some gunfire, the noise of the ships. And there it goes. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I'm so pleased I managed to catch it. You can hear just a little bit of muffled gunfire in the distance. As of yet, the church bells are not ringing up the road at Iamavra, but you can hear the gunfire. There you go. Sounds like an afternoon in Beirut, doesn't it? Eh? There you go. Not as much gunfire as most years, mainly because cost of gun cartridges is getting more expensive, and people are hanging on to them. Yeah, but you can just hear the muffled gunfire across the Anyway, I've just heard a word. Bells are deafening where Amanda is at the moment. Big shout out to Iggy over there in Canterbury area. Nice to have you looking in, big fella. Mr. Iggy from beatsradio.co.uk. Still a little bit of muffled fire going on. Everybody's sort of trying to set their watches at the moment, but I'm not surprised. I've not heard the bells ringing up at Iamavra. Maybe their clock's running a bit short. But anyway, I'm so pleased I managed to get that in. But if you're in town at the moment, it would be absolutely deafening with the gunfire. Oh, here we go. There go the bells. There you go, the bells. There you go. Absolutely lovely. Oh, and the weather, by the way, today, 32 degrees, going to feel like 35. Just be aware the fire restrictions are still in place at the moment, although they've announced some new areas for fire restrictions at the moment. I'll come into that when I get onto the news. But again, really great. I managed to capture the sound of the gunfire. Not as much as in some years, I've got to be honest. But again, people trying their best to make the best of a very, very unusual season at the moment. Oh, there's more gunfire going on. And look at these two little herberts playing here in the bushes. What are you two doing? You're wrecking mummy's plants. Oh, you're a naughty girl. Come on, off of there. You're wrecking mummy's plants. Oh, no. Probably going to make it worse now. Come on, you two. There you go. That's Kiki and Mr. Pickles there. Kiki being a naughty girl today, playing with mummy's plants. Oh, don't do that. Mummy will go nuts. There you go. Come on, you two. Start playing together so that she doesn't wreck the plants. Anyway, let's crack on with the news for today. Very, very mixed news today, as you're probably aware of what's been going on here with the little lad that got electrocuted over the weekend. That is an unfolding story at the moment, which I will get onto. But first of all, just quickly look at the COVID infections within the last 24 hours across Greece. Pleased to say that those infection rates have started to go down. We said yesterday 3,191 new infections. Today, 1,948, bringing the grand total since the pandemic started to 559,186. 12 new cases were identified in entries into the country. That was also down on the day previous, where 19 were detected. When we start looking at islands of interest, that's also looking positive in some ways. Mykonos yesterday had 28. They've now had 22 new infections detected there. Rhodes had 81 yesterday. They've had 64 new infections detected. Lefkada, they had 23 new infections. and they had 22 new infections detected. Corfu's had quite a drop, actually. They had 61 yesterday, and today reporting 31. So that's a good drop for Corfu. Kefalonia, they had 19 on the previous day, and they have 6 new infections recorded there. When it comes to Zakynthos, bit mixed really. We had 14 on the previous report, and now it's 15, so we've gone up by 1 within the last 24 hours. So again, as for the numbers for Zakynthos at the moment, we've had 1,044 positive cases here on the island. And this month alone, we've had 277 cases for the month of August, which basically puts us ahead of July, where we had 272. So all in all, we're not out of the woods yet as far as infection rates are concerned here on Zakynthos, and we're hoping that's not going to go against us later in the week, when Mr. Boris Johnson is going to start talking about having a look at his map of colours as to whether we will stay in the amber, Greece staying in the amber, or whether we might go to green, or we might, even worse of all, go to red. But we will wait and see. When it comes to deaths across the country at the moment, unfortunately, deaths are up. 23 deaths reported yesterday, 33 new deaths reported today. That means the death toll now is 13,384. The average age of those people passing away has been 79 years of age. 96% of those had underlying health conditions or problems, or were over the age of 70. And if you remember, last week, shall we say, we've had 2 deaths here on Zakynthos from coronavirus, our first death since May. So again, that's not boding well in our epidemiology picture at the moment as well. When it comes to ICUs and incubated cases, at the moment they are creeping up, I think would be the best word to describe that. Yesterday it was 317. Today it was 318. But it's the change around of the male and female numbers. 193 male, 125 female. As soon as somebody's getting better, somebody is obviously going into an ICU. Whether that person has passed away, again, we're still not 100% sure about all those numbers in the ICUs. When the numbers start to decline, is that through death or is that through people recovering? Again, that is a little statistic that we don't seem to see very often being revealed. But at the moment, it's 318 people in critical care at the moment in Greece. Once again, just remember that the benchmark is 900. That's how many ICU beds that Greece has here in the country. So at the moment, there is concern that the numbers are starting to creep up. Today's news then, the big story on the island has to be at the moment is the tragic death of a now reported 9-year-old boy, not a 12-year-old as it was first reported in the media, who was basically electrocuted while playing hide and seek in a hotel complex. Now, I know the name of the hotel, but for legal reasons, I am not allowed to reveal the name of the hotel in aTislivi where the little boy died, but I'm sure everybody already knows now. But for the Greek legislation of privacy, I am not allowed to reveal that hotel location. However, the police yesterday arrested 2 people. One was the hotel owner, and the other was the electrician from the company who actually fitted the air conditioning units. They were both arrested by the police, and they were taken straight away on a Sunday to the court. Now, a third person is also wanted at the moment by the authorities, and that person is the maintenance person who actually was involved in looking after the equipment within the hotel. At the moment, there's been no reason as to why he's not been found, arrested, or picked up. But at the moment, a third person is wanted at the moment, and maybe later today, more information will come to light as to where this person is. Now, the story, for those that hadn't heard the story, the little boy lost his life while he was playing with friends and was found at the back of the hotel where the air conditioning facility was. Now, it's being investigated that there was a leakage of current, i.e. somehow there was a live current running in that area. Anyway, the little lad had gone into somewhere to hide, playing hide and seek, and then obviously had become then electrocuted. Now, the family of the 9-year-old boy are in, obviously, as you can imagine, in an absolute deep state of shock. And they're trying to come to terms with what has happened. Anyway, the child's father said, I have no words. He was brought to me dead by the father of his friend and my neighbor, and he passed away instantly. No voices were heard. Our children were playing hide and seek, and mine was hidden behind some unguarded air conditioning facilities at the hotel. Now, he continued on. He said his friends saw that my child was unconscious, and one of the children ran and immediately told his father and then hugged him and brought him to me in fear. Our children could have been hiding at that point and were now mourning other innocent souls, and I will move everything legally. A lot of this has been translated from Greek, so the English might not be completely right. However, I think you can get an understanding of what the man is going through. Anyway, the body of the 9-year-old boy, it was announced this morning. He's going to be transferred this morning to the forensic medicine services in Patra, obviously, where an autopsy will be performed, obviously, to formalize the cause of death for the young lad. So at the moment, I'm not going to go on about this at the moment. There is a legal investigation going on. There's an inquiry going on. 3 people two have been arrested and taken before the court. The 3rd person is still being looked for at the moment, or maybe is not aware. However, this is a small island, and I would think by now he would be very aware, and we will basically keep our ear to the ground and just see how things transpire. Also, as well, more news on the foreigner who was brought in by the Zakynthos Police yesterday on suspicion of arson for the fire that occurred in the Argassi area. He was released. Now, according to police sources, during a search carried out on both the man, his family, no suspicious objects were found that could have been used to cause a fire. Now, the arrested the arrested person's arrest was based upon a complaint that was made by a member of the public. This person filmed a foreigner who they say was of Pakistani origin in the area on their mobile phone, and obviously the police followed up the action. So once again, nobody has been brought to book for the fire in Argassi, and again, can you just be very, very careful when you are out and about. This then leads us into my next story. It seems that over the weekend there's been 34 forest fires that have broken out across Greece within the last 24 hours, according to the fire department. Firefighting operations were assisted by forces deployed through the European Civil Protection Mechanism, the armed forces, the volunteer firefighters, the water tankers, and OTA project equipment. And they are equipment that belongs to the Demos that can be deployed in the event of major fires and humanitarian crises. Anyway, it seems that strong ground and air forces continue to operate mainly to secure perimeters of fires. Specifically, there were 373 firefighters with 113 vehicles, including 9 groups of on-foot firefighters, with 76 firefighters and 19 vehicles from Poland, and 59 firefighters and 14 vehicles from Romania. There was 5 aircraft and 10 helicopters, including 2 helicopters from Russia and 1 helicopter from the United Arab Emirates that are involved in firefighting across Greece over the last 24 hours, dealing with these outbreaks of fires. Now, assistance was also provided by the Greek army, also the local Greek volunteer firefighters, as well as water trucks and earth moving equipment in regions and from local governments of those regions. So again, those areas affected have been very busy themselves, with people from their local municipalities obviously deployed to also help fight fires in their locations as well. Now, according this morning, all the services of the fire brigade of the territory will remain on general alert, and air surveillance patrols will continue, as well as joint patrols by the fire, police and military forces here in Greece. Now, most fires, they said, were dealt with immediately in the early stages. At the same time, the local investigation officers are also checking for arson as well, and they are working with the arson crime units directorate and investigating either claims of arson or where arson has been involved, to obviously try and get those people away so they don't want to watch the flames dance somewhere else if they aren't caught. Anyway, according to the fire risk forecast map, which was issued by the General Secretary for Civil Protection for Monday, today, the 23rd, a very high fire risk, a Cat 4, is forecasted for the following areas. They are the areas of the Prefecture of Eva and also the Prefecture of Vaiater. That's up in the northern part of the country, up by Athens, around there. The Attica region also, including the island of Kythia, that is also under special measures. The Peloponnese region, which is closer to us, Corinth, Aragona and Lagona, they're also in special measures. The North Aegean region of Lesbos, Chinos, Samos and Iraklia, they're also under special measures at the moment in regards to fires. And also the region of Crete as well, that has also had its status upped as well. Now, the GG Civil Protection, as it states in relevant announcement, has informed the competent state services involved, as well as the regions and municipalities of those mentioned, in order to increase the civil protection rate in readiness to be able to deal with any incidents of fire. At the same time, the General Secretary of Civil Protection is advising citizens especially to be careful to avoid actions in the countryside that cause fire by negligence, such as burning dry grass branches or clearing debris, the use of spark generating machines such as circular saws, the use of outdoor grills such as barbecues, etc. Also bee smoking as well for those people who have beehives. Also as well, the most common thing, throwing of lighted cigarette ends. People are reminded that the fire of burning of fields this is mainly for the farmers, is absolutely prohibited at this time of year. So once again, I know here on Zakynthos at the moment, there is a curfew in order, 6 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning in various wooded areas and forest areas and areas that are cordoned off. Please do not drive through the cordon. It's there for a reason, and the reason there is to stop traffic going off on the beaten trail and then could inadvertently cause a fire. So once again, please, please, please have your common sense about you. I know we're on holiday, we like to enjoy ourselves, but if you see an area where you're not allowed to go into, please stay out of it, just in case you inadvertently cause a fire, and you will then be technically classed as an arsonist here in Greece, and you may find yourself in some very, very serious trouble. And finally, a little bit of good news, or a bit of interesting news, actually. As you know, football with the Premier League kicked off last week. At the moment, Greece has been having meetings about its Greek Super League. Now, the board of directors of the Greek Super League are expected to announce when the country's 2021-22 soccer championship will begin at Monday's new extraordinary general assembly. So they're having a meeting today about the football. Now, according to most estimates, last week, the most likely starting date will be August the 28th to the 29th. So the UK bank holiday weekend is when the Greek football will look like it might actually get started. However, as they say in this article, it's not a foregone conclusion that the starting date will be announced on Monday. All right. A General Assembly meeting last Thursday, whose purpose was to decide when the league would begin, was inconclusive. Well, there you go. That's Greece all over for you. We'll have a meeting to have another meeting. to have another meeting, and then we might decide on something. So again, we'll see what happens, because Dennis's son obviously plays not in the Super League, but he's in one of the minor leagues, doing very well for himself, I might add. And I know he's been sat in the bar a couple of times because obviously for him the season hasn't started yet. And so again, bless him, he should be back kicking a ball and making some money for his dad. Anyway, that's the news for today. Can I just say thank you to all those people that are tuned in. Big shout out to Lyndon over there in Wales. Also Will Bland as well, who's tuning in. Sue Saint, Darren Crosby is also tuned in as well. Shane up there on Exmoor. Thank you for your comments yesterday on the Northern Soul show and on the Dance Anthem show from over the weekend. I do intend to get those shows up online. The Northern Soul show, that gets repeated today at 7 o'clock UK time, which is 9 o'clock Greek time. Fortunately, I won't be in that area when it's obviously, because I'll be on my way to work. But anyway, go in there, enjoy the show this evening. Once again, just a quick wash up from last night. Great show with the lovely Danielle Rogers. Absolutely fantastic. Karaoke, again, was interesting. Very mixed last night between the Dutch and the British and the Danish. And some lovely people in last night. Really nice comments as well about how everything was running. The voice is getting better, but not as well good enough for singing it too much. But anyway, they helped out by wanting to sing all the time, which was absolutely fantastic. Right, that's it from me. Just to remind you that today is St. Dennis's first part of St. Dennis's celebrations. I'm not sure what's happening in regards whether you are able to go and see St. Dennis in the church in town. Obviously, more information about that will come to light. We definitely don't have a market at the moment, which everybody would be very excited to be going to. So it's the same socks and pants for another year, I'm afraid. So we will wait and see. Oh, and just another little point to note. I've been having a lot of difficulty uploading news to YouTube. Honestly, it's just not working again. It's just not happening. So at the moment, for those people who catch up on YouTube, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to just look at the live broadcast on Facebook at the moment, because until I can get it up onto YouTube, I'm not sure what's going on, whether it's just the internet playing up or dark forces at the back playing, but I think it's more like the internet playing up. Just be aware, I'm trying to get up the last, it'd be now 3 days worth of podcasts up onto YouTube. Yesterday, I just had to give up because they just were not going up whatsoever. But anyway, just to let you know, thank you for your support still. And I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know. And also, happy St. Dennis's Day as well. Catch you later. Ta-ra.